2025. Mrs. King, would you please verify quorum?
Councilman Mack.
Here.
Councilman Randolph. Here. Councilman Daniels.
Here.
Vice Chair is absent tonight and Chair Gardner.
Here.
We have our quorum.
All right, please stand for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item is the approval of the agenda. There is an adjustment. There are 3 proclamations. Yes, not going on, and I think that's the only thing that we are adding. At
This
this,
amendment to the minutes. Once we get to the test.
okay, all right. All right, that being adjusted to the minutes. All right, that being said, is there a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the proclamation? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, the agenda has been approved. Before we do the presentation from PEC, I'll go ahead and start with the proclamation. The first proclamation is for Municipal Clerks Week. I think we can all agree that our clerk has been doing a sensational job, and we appreciate the work that you've been doing for the town of Eatonville. So the proclamation, Office of the Mayor, Town of Eatonville Municipal Clerks Week, May 4th through the 10th, 2025. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Finally, whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town of Eatonville, Orange County, Florida, along with Mayor Angie Gardner, Vice Mayor Theo Washington, Council members Rodney Daniels, Taurus Mack, and Wanda Randolph, does hereby recognize the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025, as Municipal Clerks Week, and I further extend appreciation to our municipal town clerk, Veronica L. King, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused seal of the town of Eatonville, Florida, to be affixed this 6th day of May, 2025, Angie Gardner, Mayor. Thank you. The next proclamation. The next proclamation is for National Teachers Week. Proclamation, Office of the Mayor, Town of Eatonville, Florida, National Teacher Week, May 5th through the 9th, 2025. Whereas teachers are the backbone of our education system, dedicating their time and talent in shaping the minds and futures of students across America. And whereas teachers play a vital role in preparing students for college, careers, and citizenship. And whereas teachers go above and beyond to create engaging and supportive learning environments. And whereas teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling, and coaching students, and performing community service and being mama. And whereas the town of Eatonville recognizes and supports its teachers in educating the children of the Eatonville community and other communities across this nation. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Eatonville, Orange County, Florida, along with Mayor Angie Gardner, Vice Mayor Theo Washington, council members Rodney Daniels, Taurus Mack, and Wanda Randolph, hereby recognize and proclaim May 5th through the 9th, 2025 as National Teacher Appreciation Week in the town of Eatonville, Florida, and encourages all members of the Eatonville community to show their appreciation to teachers for their efforts, dedication to their work, and for the impact made on the future of our students. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Eatonville, Florida, to be affixed this 6th day of May, 2025. Angie Gardner, Mayor. And the final one, we could not do without these guys. Our police keep us safe every day, whether we want to or not. Proclamation. Office of the Mayor, Town of Eatonville, Florida, National Police Week, May 11th through the 17th, 2025. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Eatonville Police Department. And whereas since the first reported death in 1786, there are currently more than 24,000 law enforcement officers in the United States who have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., and whereas new names of fallen heroes are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including officers killed in 2024 and officers killed in the previous years. And whereas the service and sacrifice of all law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 37th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13th, 2025. And whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of National Police Week, which will be observed this year, May 11th through the 17th. And whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day, in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half staff. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Eatonville, Orange County, Florida, along with Mayor Angie Gardner, Vice Mayor Theo Washington, council members Rodney Daniels, Taurus Mack, and Wanda Randolph, does hereby observe May 11th through the 17th, 2025, as National Police Week in the town of Eatonville, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across the nation. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Eatonville, Florida, to be affixed this 6th day of May, 2025. Angie Gardner, Mayor. Thank you. With those proclamations being read, we move on the agenda. Presentation from PEC, Programming and Marketing Conference 2027 block. Ms. Nathan.
NYSU Executive Director, Association to Preserve Eatonville Incorporated, PEC. On behalf of our board president, Chad Kubik, who is presently leading a class that he does every Tuesday, I bring greetings from him and board members present, Ms. Winifred Hurston and Mr. Reginald Lewis. It is an honor to come before you, Mayor and Council, and those in the audience, to present a team of people who careers and accomplishments have allowed us to really bring to the town of Eatonville a very fine project called Eatonville Rising, a celebration of milestones scheduled for August and September of 2027. To give you an idea of what this program is, for those of you who might be familiar with something called Shark Tank, in other words, this is an idea that pledges to bring to the town of Eatonville and the citizens of Orange County 50,500 people. That's the deliverable that we must accomplish. And today, tomorrow, and Thursday represents an inflection point in what really is about 18 months of work. It's very important that we acknowledge the leadership of Orange County Mayor Jerry Dimmings as really being the originator of what we at PEC have identified that we could do. Because it is Mayor Dimmings who, looking at the tourist development tax revenues over the coming decade, recognized conservatively that there would be 1 billion with a B dollars that tourists would bring to Orange County. And that because under state statutes, the Association of Observed Eatonville Community would vie for some of those dollars because we do bring heads in beds. It really allowed us to change the way we looked at ourselves. And this evening, as we present to you the consultants who are working on this project, we wanted to make sure that we did our due diligence in making certain that the electeds of Eatonville, the people of Eatonville, really know who these people are because they will be in and around the community. Before I take my seat, and I've asked them for 45 seconds because there are about 10 or 12 of them, so they don't take up too much time. I'm going to ask Cheryl Taylor to stand so that you will see her, mayor and town council members, because every quarter she will be briefing each of you individually, and we will be holding a town workshop, town hall, in August, so that the people of Eatonville have a chance to engage with this process. So that having been said, Mayor, if it's all right to just let me have each of the people come forward, introduce themselves by saying who they are and their location.
It's okay if it's 36.
30 seconds.
Yes, please.
Would you like me?
Well, I would start for you. I would just go around.
Thank you, NY, Mayor, Council, and staff. My name is Everett Fly, San Antonio, Texas. I'm a professional architect, landscape architect. They have seen me before in Eatonville. I've been coming and going for 35 years. The reason I've been coming and going is that your community is extremely unique, extremely rare, and has extreme value. My role in the project will be to help develop a segment that enriches the lives of residents and encourages them to have pride in their community and attracts those dollars again and again and again in tourism money to Eden.
Next person.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Mohammed Theory. I'm from San Francisco, California. Managing partner of Life Point Group. I'm a real estate developer. We do multifamily mixed use development in California and on the Northwest as well. I'll be working with Mr. Fly to help drive the sense of pride, community building that is going to be so crucial to this project. So that's my role.
Good evening, everyone. My name is TK Walker. I'm coming from Digital. My role would be in the marketing department, digital marketing and technology. To be specific, I'll be working very closely with Cheryl Taylor and a few others.
Mayor, Council, citizens of Eatonville. I'm Winifred Hurston. I serve on the Board of Directors of PEC. I'm also the Chair of Development and will be participating in the project from the Marketing Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. In Africa, we say, Makadi, how are you, Mayor? It's an honor to be here. In the town that freedom built. And it's an honor for me to be part of the team that is working together in bringing revival to the town. The question is, do you have any association sister relationships with cities in Africa? If not, I'm here to assist with that. And we are hoping that probably next year or 2027, there will be a signing of that sister city relationship. So my name is Zenzile Ilan. I am the deal consultant for the Africa Food and Fashion Expo that is going to be rolled out. I'm so excited to be part of it. And I'm also CEO and founder of Camel Global Capital. I have so many hats. I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And council. My name is Julian Campbell. I'm professor of English and founder and curator of history at Michigan State University. I will serve as a lead organizer for a community conference for Rise Watching God with my colleagues. That will be an international gathering of scholars, artists, and practitioners inspired by Eatonville and Zoe Hurston. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for this time. I'm Brian Demza. I am a professor of humanities from Texas Tech, currently a Fulbright U.S. scholar in Belgium. Maybe I came the furthest to be. Did not pass up an opportunity to visit Eatonville, where I've been fortunate to develop relationships over the past 10 years. It is, as Mr. Fly indicated, an incredibly important town in history. A town that indeed freedom built, but that also, I would say, built freedom. My role in the project is in the area of K-12 education, involved in any number of public history projects in that regard. And I'll also assist with the academic conference.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Clarissa West White. I'm currently the University Archivist Assistant Professor, Reference Librarian, and Faculty Athletic Representative at the Bethune-Cookman University, Daytona, Florida. I will be assisting with I will be assisting with the regionality middle grade competition as well as the academic conference.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Reginald Lewis, and I'm from Creative Enterprises. Some of y'all have seen me running around here doing the Zora Festival, helping assistant producing that. And now my role will be producing the celebration of the milestone.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeff Cherisol. I work in contract and credentialing on the federal side. I first want to say that I came into awareness of Eatonville and Zoe Hurston in middle school. I went to South Central Middle School. So I attended the Hurston Festival at the Dial, and that had a major impact on me. So I'm very proud to be taking part in this program. I'll be assisting with the overall coordination of the different programs, making sure our scheduling and our interaction with our partners.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. My name is Melva Akins. I'm with Akins Design. We are a creative design firm located in Douglasville, Georgia. Previously though, in Winter Park, Georgia. I'm sorry, Douglasville, Georgia, previously from Winter Park, Florida. My role with the festival was for venues and logistics. And I come with a background in film and television, also an independent filmmaker. And I worked with programs and evaluations in terms of development and monitoring them and so forth for the city of Winter Park under their CRA for Hannibal Square.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher Peace. I'm an assistant teaching professor of business communication at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I will be assisting on the academics committee during the Eatonville Rising Funds.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Cheryl Taylor. I have been around Eatonville for about 30 years, off and on, enjoying all that it has to offer. I have spent my career working for one of the top DMOs in the country, that is right in our backyard, Visit Orlando. My role specifically was to find opportunities to reinvent not only products that we offer to help our members go and buy into the marketing dollars we spend, but also to make sure that strategic partnerships and sponsorships was a priority to help supplement non-resort tax revenue. So when I had an opportunity to retire in 24, I took a year and slept. We can't tell you what happened in it, but when I came out of it, there was a passion project that I've always worked on. I've always been really in one way, shape or form involved with Eatonville as a destination over my 30 years. And so what's different this time is that the creativity and the brain power that I've met from the board and from others now, and hopefully will have the honor of meeting with each and every one of you individually to make sure it's a very cohesive approach to what we are doing. And we plan on serving many masters, and each of you that are with us in the room today, the citizens, the council, the mayor, our team will be our cultural ambassadors. And you will help steer and guide what we believe will be a fantastic opportunity for year-round tourism in Eatonville.
You actually have citizens of Eatonville. My name is Lonnie Grant. I'm a professor of visual art, Pennsylvania State University. I'm a school teacher. I've been coming to Eatonville now for decades. And I curate the Vernon Harrison National Museum of Art across the street. I've had that great honor, for, like I said, for many years. Beyond that, I think I've had the honor of doing these kinds of community involvement with the artists. And the unique thing about that is the Eatonville community itself. I've had the great honor of having Eatonville embrace those projects and help us with those projects and give itself and open itself to the arts, which is, as you all may know,
a completely unique experience, not only in Florida, but in the world. I thank you for that. As we embark on this new project, I welcome you all. Welcome, you're welcome. Thank you.
Mayor, City Council. I'm Lyman Brody. I'm Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities at UCF. And we've been partners with PEC now for the last, how long, 36 years? 36 years. We've just actually signed a new MOU, sustaining our partnership for the next 5 years. We've had it for the previous 5, and we're expected will go on in the future. But we're here in a supportive role to try to help, as we have been for all these years, to continue to make sure that Eatonville is a recognized opportunity in our community and the world. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here and be supportive in that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we have the town meeting. I definitely want to welcome all faces. I thought there's an issue this evening. And I didn't know about it. Praise God. But welcome. Thank you for coming. And I do, since everyone is here, I want to take the moment to apologize for Saturday. If I don't write it down, I just did not read it. So I do apologize. And even though I said I could not be there tomorrow, I will try my best to see if someone can help me with what I have to do so I can be there. That meeting, a group picture, maybe take a group picture with the kids with the mayor's house.
Mr. Watkins, you want to get it?
Yes, sir, bro. Let me tiptoe. Very right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go.
As they leave, someone did ask to speak. Peggy meets with the animal services, has asked to have a quick word with the council, so as long as everyone's okay, because we already approved the agenda. Then I invite Ms. Meeks up from Animal Services Orange County.
To address the issues.
We go to the lectern.
Okay, Unique, good evening, Mayor, Councilman, residents of Eatonville. I work for Orange County Animal Services. I've been with them for 30 years. I am the Assistant Division Manager. This person hiding behind me is one of the road supervisors out there. Your code enforcement officer come out and visited us. And I made the offer if he ever wanted us to come out and talk to the residents or anybody out here or have any meetings they wanted to attend, by all means, let us know. So that's why I'm here. If anybody's got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. I'll briefly tell you what animal services work responsible for and how we work out there. And we take care of all of Orange County. I'll give you a brief overview of animal services. We're a priority driven agency. What that means is I have 24 officers, 4 supervisors. 2 days a week they get off, so they're usually off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays. I have 2 day shifts, 2 night shifts. We do not have hundreds of officers. This is why I say it's a priority driven agency, because what we look at is these guys are off, so you only have full shifts 3 days a week. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So normally you're gonna have 6 on day shifts, 6 on night shifts, handling all the calls. How many calls do we have holding right now?
Over 200 right now.
Over 200 calls we have holding right now. So what we look at is we're looking at for bite animals. We're looking for animals hit by cars. We're gonna be looking for animals in traps. And those are gonna be our priority calls. So if we get barking dog complaints and everything, it's gonna take a little bit normally for us to handle. Normally we get a barking dog complaint, we'll send a nuisance letter if we got the address of the owner, saying, hey, do something with your dog. And then we might end up coming out and writing citations. And the way we handle our calls is we write civil citations. It's just like getting a speeding ticket. And so that's what we deal with owners. Everybody thinks because it's a loose dog, we're responsible for it. We're not. We're responsible for the streets in this county, but when it comes to owned animals, then we deal with the owners by writing tickets to them. The only time we can pick up owned animals is if we catch them out loose, or they need to be quarantined. Those would be 2 of the cases that we would have to pick them out. But normally, if we get an owned animal, we're gonna take it back to the owner. If it's loose, and they're probably gonna get a ticket or an official notice saying, don't let your animal run loose anymore. And we came into existence for rabies control. That's why animal controls come into existence. And then it's migrated to looking out for the animals. So everybody thinks that just because it's a loose dog, we can just come take it from people. We can't. It's a live being, but it's still property. It's just like your code enforcement. If you don't mow your yard, they don't take your lawnmower. So if your dog's bad, you can't take your dog. And it just is what it is. Police, you speed, they don't take your car. And it's the same concept with us. Just because your dog's bad, we can't just take your dog. We can quarantine your dog if it bites. We can bring it to the facility or we can quarantine it home. But normally, when it comes to owners, it's usually we deal with civil citation. That's about as brief as I can go. So if anybody's got any questions they want to ask us, we'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions?
No, she pretty much summed it up by telling me everything that she just spoke on. A lot of things I didn't know, I'm like, man, okay, but no, I just had an incident, and you know, it's concerning because we got a lot of kids that run around this area. And I know we had a lot of complaints about residents saying dogs are running loose or whatever. I was even held hostage at my own house, not able to come out, and was running late to a meeting actually because a dog had me hostage in front of the house and would not let me out. And not that I was really afraid, I just didn't want to take no chance of getting bitten. But the kids was across the street and he was just as friendly as possible with them. And I'm like, man, why is he after me? You know, what's going on? But either here or there, I just feel the need to I know the laws are the laws with the animal control and things like that, but it's been a serious issue in this community.
I can tell you this, if you have a really, if you do, like you're saying, with serious injuries with loose dogs and all, we have a cat team, it's called a community action team. They work 3 days a week, and if you want to, I can talk to the program manager. I'm his boss actually, so I'll be telling him, but anyway, I can instruct them that if you want them out here, then I can have the cat team come out there and do patrols and go through the streets and educate the citizens, give out pamphlets and, with spay and neuter and things like that. And I can have the action team come out here when we're full staff 3 days, the 3 days, and I can have them come out here and Eatonville. And if you need them to come out here and ride in this community.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something that.
They have been requested. I did request.
So you
appreciate
can, you can
yes.
do that. Also, for everybody to know, tomorrow they're having an Arm Your Thing at Barnett Park. I don't know if you know where it's at. The Animal Service is gonna be out there giving free shots for dogs, free microchips and rabies shots and all like that. We're gonna have
7 to 12.
from 7 to 12, and they're gonna be giving out dog food and all. So if you know anybody that needs any shots, the main shot you need to have in Orange County is your rabies shot. That's the one the law says you have to have. But the reason why Animal Services will give all these shots, parvo, distemper, and the reason why they do that is if these dogs end up in Animal Services, they've had a shot and it protects them. What people don't realize is these dogs that come in here, we have no history, we don't know what they're exposed to, and you take a chance if the animal gets picked up getting sick. So if any of them need shots, come down there to Barnett Park tomorrow and get your shots and get dog food while you're at it.
All right, thank you.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Stray cats, how do we handle that as a resident? Do we call you to do it, or do we set traps? How do we do with these stray cats?
So the we do have a program called the Trap Neuter Release Program, which is a TNR program. So that's basically, every citizen in Orange County can get up to 5 cats per year. Basically spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. What that program does is basically controls the population so they're not reproducing. It helps with behavior issues, with them marking or spraying and things like that. So we'll come out, deliver you a trap. You catch up to 5 cats, we'll spay neuter it, and then we'll release it back out there. We don't usually pick up just, stray nuisance cats. We kind of got away from that after COVID because if a cat is feral and all it knows is the outside and doesn't have any action with people, they're not going to be a candidate for adoption. So that's why we offer that program, so we can get them back out there without, having to making that decision, to put them to sleep because they're not adoptable. We do have other programs in Orange County. They have the Care Feline program, which is a nonprofit. We always recommend people to them as well. They do the trap neuter release. But if you know of somebody that is feeding cats or may own cats that are coming onto your property, causing damage, defecating, we get a lot of that here in Orange County. You can contact us, 311, provide the, cat owners information, their address and everything like that. We'll come out, speak with you, and also speak to them to see if we can get that under control before it leads to, citations. What ultimately would be, if the cat keeps coming onto your property and you don't want it there. So those are just a couple of programs that we do have.
You said number's 311?
311, yep. So if you guys have any issues, regarding, domestic animals and small wildlife, you just call 311. That's our call center. They'll create the call for you, and then they'll basically turn it over to us to respond out.
It goes directly to our dispatchers, and the dispatchers make the call down dispatch.
We don't do alligators.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice evening.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thanks to Chief and Code Enforcement Officer, Mr. Baruti, for staying on top of that to address those matters and working with the county. So with our current agreement or interlocal agreement, we're covered to continue the services, and there's no additional cost to the town for it, but we can work on it.
I'll get the cat team out here to.
Thanks.
Thank you. Now we're ready for citizen participation.
Yes, we have, Mr. Anthony Grant.
Definitely, Mayor. I'm still here. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm always concerned about PECs and PEC's role. I think they do some good stuff, and I think they can do a lot of good things.
We'll go warm up and figure out.
Okay. I don't think PEC can lead the town. I think the town has to be a part of that process. To circumvent the town in the process, it causes chaos. And it doesn't send a good message. I remember a few years ago when PEC unveiled I think $100 million, $80 million request for through the Tourist Development Board for this property without going through the town. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. And I think the festival is an embarrassment. I think it should be retooled. But when you look at the board and they say, we want to be partners with the community and sense of pride, how many board members live in the town that's on the board? How many residents? So, I just got some serious issues and when I was sitting in that seat, we led. And I just don't think it's where they are now. I think it's an embarrassment after 30 years. And I just think perhaps they need new leadership. And sometimes, when the CEO of an organization is not moving, the stock is dropping, you've got to change leadership. That's my opinion. That's not fact. But I keep saying I'm going to send the board a letter at some point, but that's not where I came. I came to ask the question about the access realty. What does that entail? The resolution of official real estate agency. What does that entail?
You don't need that.
Well, it's not my item. I would.
So, and I'll just say, during our workshop, I did bring it up. It was actually legislative driven from Councilwoman Randolph. And we just brought up some of the concerns with it, with legal, because it has not been procured.
Yeah, that was my
question. So we have already kind of in the workshop stated that it'll probably be tabled and we'll look at procuring it at a later date.
In my last question, I didn't understand the resolution 2024, and I think the clerk, I just got to give you kudos. When we ask for something, we get it. I mean, I think you're gonna have a shot. 2024-40 was a resolution established the water and sewer rates. I thought it was an ordinance that established rates. Ordinance is a law, resolution is a legislative policy. I'm a little bit taken aback, but not only that. When I look at the resolution, and I can hand it to whomever I need to hand it to, they can explain it to me. When I look at the rates, it says 2024-25, 10,000 gallons or more, $8.89. So if I lose 75,000 gallons, the max you're going to charge me is $8.89 for water. And when I look at 10,000 gallons or more for sewer, if I use 175,000 gallons, the max you're going to charge me is $8.42, according to the resolution. Normally it says per 1,000 gallons after X number of dollars, but the resolution established a cap. So how do you charge for that?
I would have to look at that in detail where you're looking from it. Make sure that's good.
But like, the answer to the question.
Oh. You want to?
If the question is, why do we have the resolution for the rates as opposed to an ordinance? Because that's become the standard. The reason is the ordinance is what establishes that you have rates for these things that will be set by resolution. And the reason is so that you can react quickly and more quickly than you can with an ordinance to raise rates or lower them as the case may be. So the kind of current standard is have a rate resolution or a rate ordinance establishing that you have rates and that they will be set by resolution so they can be changed much easier than the ordinance.
I would agree with that 100%. But you recall you repealed the ordinance that established the rates. When you did your reading process, you repealed the ordinance that established the rates. So if you have no ordinance, resolution is not applicable because you repealed the ordinance.
If I remember correctly, the ordinance wasn't completely repealed. There were portions in the ordinance that was pulled out, but the actual ordinance wasn't fully repealed.
Okay, when I read the plain language of the minutes, I'm not disputing it. I hope that's the case, but that's what alluded me to that. So, but how does those rates? Because it says that's what it says.
Right, and so if you're saying the gallons, because it doesn't say per gallon, is that the language that you're
No,
looking?
I'm saying if I use 20,000 gallons, according to that resolution, the max you can charge me is $8.94, whatever it is.
So can I suggest that we set a meeting
Sure.
to go over it?
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
To schedule, I mean,
Thank you.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say.
Our next one will be Ruthie Craig.
Hello again, council, staff, residents, friends and family. Two things while I'm up here. Wanted to say that I have been very pleased with the service that we've received from our new contracted vendor for waste services. I would like to say that I've been noticing that they pick up both the trash and the recyclables at the same time, but we still see the recycling truck come on Wednesdays. One of the workers had said to me that they were doing that as a courtesy and that eventually it would go to where it needed to be. I don't know if the residents know that, but nevertheless satisfied with the service that we've received. And I also brought a friend based off some questions that we had about an hour ago. This is Mr. Eric Chandler. I'll let him introduce himself and tell you who he is.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Madam Mayor, council members. So my name is Eric Chandler. I am a resident of Orlando, Florida. I'm also co-founder of the Black Market Network. The Black Market Network is a community of influence for the entrepreneurs, community activists, and what our goal as the network is to connect individuals together with minority business owners and to promote them doing activities such as events and providing resources and sufficient networks for them. One such activity that we're now been invited through Esteem Learning, also through the town of Eatonville, to work with the Juneteenth weekend. So that will be from June 19th all the way up to June 21st. We're going to be helping out as a marketing partner for their two events, the Youth Fest and for the Juneteenth Day of event. And Freedom Day, excuse me. And then for Juneteenth Fest, which is on that Saturday, we're actually going to be a vetted partner and actively helping out with that activity. So I just so happen to be in the area and I got invited in. So I just want to introduce myself and say thank you so much for this opportunity and also if any questions or think about myself.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Have you been approached by, what's the name of the market at night?
Market.
Yeah. Are you partnering with them as well?
I'm not. I have met them. I know them pretty well. I actually know a lot of the vendors that work out there as well. But I have not partnered with them. So right now I'm just strictly partnered with Steam Learning. They're also partnered with them.
You have a card because I have a vendor that may be able to help.
I don't have a card, but I can definitely pass along my information. And then I'm also partnering with Ruby. So
She knows me.
Yeah, so we definitely want to continue on networking with the town. We're trying to invite some of the local businesses here to also vend out as well, and to create and foster and continue to grow from the inside the town of Eatonville with activities like this. So,
Thank you.
thanks so
Since the
much.
timer did not go off, I would like to squeeze in that, I didn't hear Ms. Nathiri say it earlier, but she's having her Let's Talk Eatonville event on Saturday from 10:30 to 12. I am going to the pool first and then I'll be there. But I heard in some recent meetings, a lot of community input. And the things that I heard resonated with me because I've been working with her in the National Trust, a lot of the things that they said had come up. So please share with your neighbors that'd be a good opportunity to come speak.
Thank you. And the last one we have is Angela Johnson.
Again, Mayor, council members, fellow residents, quickly, and just a couple things back to the financial statements. Being that Mrs. Mundy has mentioned that, there could be some pending application or needs for SRF funding, understanding that we have repeatedly for years had those comments due to the timing of the issuance of the financial statements. I would invite staff to work as quickly as you can to get your financial statements published so that that doesn't impede any of the financing that may be required. I also would like to add, a question. What is staff doing to increase the amount of participation by employees in the deferred compensation plan? It seemed as though the notes to the financials indicated a very, very low participation rate. Maybe thinking about some type of study to help people contribute to those plans so that they can plan for retirement. What is the town's policy to clear the due to, due from? We've been talking about that for 5-7 years since I've been involved with coming out to meetings. And then I would like to piggyback on the conversation that Anthony Grant, former Mayor Anthony Grant just mentioned. I think if you all recall, I've been asking that question since you introduced the rate study. I too have had the concern that we did not properly educate our residents. We taught that rates were gonna go up on average $20 a month. I will stand here and tell you, I am making a conscious decision to not have cable in order to pay my water bill. I have made a decision to not water my lawn because of the impact to the rates on the bills. It is not a $20 to $30 increase. So, and I too brought to your attention the concern as to the process that you had, because during the workshop in December, I asked at that time, was there going to be public participation in hearings and so on and so forth? I was told yes. And then later on, I was told that was one of the things that had occurred. So there was truly a miscommunication to me, that citizens were not really communicated with properly, because I guarantee you this room would have been filled if individuals knew that their bills were going to be going up at the rates that they have gone up. I am hearing that people's bills have gone from $80 to $160. That becomes unaffordable. You already have 60% uncollectible AR amounts on your financials. Where are we headed? So, and I too brought to your attention that what was published was not that you were going to charge me per 1,000 gallons. So I'm glad that former Mayor Anthony Grant actually brought that table to you tonight. Of course, you're probably going to say it's a Scribner's error. But in all honesty, that's what you published. That's what the council approved, that it was $8 and something cents up to 10,000 gallons. It never stated in that table that it was going to be per 1,000 gallons. Of course, we know, for those of us that are aware, that it is. But from a legal standpoint, the question had, and I've been asking that question for several months, and have just been told that it was done properly. But again, I too would like to be included in that meeting if that meeting happens. Thank you.
That was the last one.
All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, and finally, council decision. Approval of the Town of Eatonville fiscal year 2024 annual comprehensive financial audit. Ms. King.
Man, just located. You can go back to the workshop. Almost there. It's a pretty big packet. You know what, there's not a resolution for the audit.
It's just a motion.
It's just a motion.
Okay, so it's.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
I didn't think it was, but I was just waiting to kind of feel it.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the fiscal year 2024 annual comprehensive financial audit? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, the audit has been approved. And then finally, approval of resolution 2025-7. This item was discussed earlier. And I'm under the impression that we should table it because it needs to be vetted, properly vetted.
Yeah, we move to table.
All right, so is there a motion to table? It's been moved.
Second question.
It's been moved and seconded, yes.
Yes, the reason we're gonna table this item is because we gotta get, I guess, all the procurement.
That's what I was gonna.
And that's one of the reasons that we're not moving forward with it. So, that's where we at with that. And I know we heard Attorney, Shepherd, gave his, spill on it. So we definitely want to make sure that we're, dotting our i's and crossing our t's and making sure we're doing everything properly and in order. So, that's one of the reasons that we're gonna table this item, just to let the, business know that we're not just not taking, that we're not just gonna move forward with making any, bad decisions. So that's where we at with that. And I just wanted to make that clear for the record that, we're gonna table this item and look further into it while we can make the best decision for the community.
All right.
Okay, you move.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. All right, so final item has been tabled. Mr. President.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council, and to the residents, first, to that matter, so that we're clear with it being tabled. The expectation is for us to proceed forward with a procurement process based off of our finance policies and purchasing procedures. So, that process normally takes anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks for the advertisement, but a scope and a direction will have to be established to cover that. But just so we're clear on that. I do want to announce for staff purposes, condolences to Mark Haynes. He's one of our public works workers. His older brother passed, and so keep his family in your prayers. That's one of our staff members. Again, as was stated by Ms. Valerie Mundy, there are several projects, but the CDBG-DR funding opportunity where we were awarded the 8.2 million for that. So that's an exciting project. Along with that, several projects I wanted just to kind of keep with the council. The master planning, we're looking at the next date for our master planning meeting on June 11th. This will be the community meeting that will cover all of the input that is taking place up to date, and that'll be brought back before council once we finalize those items there. We also have been working on the stormwater sufficiency rate study, which is in progress as well, to look at adding in those additional properties that are not being captured because they're not water customers for the town of Eatonville. Strategic planning session, of course, we'll cover 3 through 5 goals at the next meeting, which is on the 20th. Which will start, I believe we started an hour early, which I believe was 5:30. So please mark your calendars for that as we continue to plan that. With the audit now being approved, we can now start put our forecasting numbers together and addressing some of the items that were brought up by Ms. Johnson and others. And Ms. Johnson says, for your record, we will have, when we do have that meeting, we'll make sure you're invited, and I'll cover both of those items for your the questions that came up from you tonight. Also, the town is in process of some system overhauls, such as with Edmonds now being fully implemented. We've sent several staff members to training back in April. So staff is getting fully acclimated to that system of working with Edmonds, and that's moving forward. We are also working on several studies, such as the water and sewer and the master plan. So that should be coming back before council pretty soon. We're also looking at some planning and permitting department changes. And so as we gather that information, we'll be bringing it back for council's approval. At 2 meetings ago, we discussed about the 526 Clark Street property with the dumpster enclosure. We've met with the owners of the property and the business owner as well to discuss what was there. It's been identified just for council that the dumpster was placed on a non-conforming lot, meaning that it should not have been placed there. So we're working right now with staff and the owners to mitigate that and rectify that. And as soon as we come up with an official plan, we'll keep the council aware. The cost for that will be on the town. Just to be clear, and I've already spoken with the owner on that. So as we find the most viable option, we'll present that back to correct that measure for the dumpster closure. And we're also just to make sure that we don't run into this as we're correcting it for code enforcement purposes, as well as for compliance. We are doing an overhaul review with our planning department on all enclosure opportunities or missing opportunities for that within the town. So that would make sure when they do start to work on it, that it's cost effective and it's actually something that can be zoned per their zoning for the property. A couple of other key updates and events and just some things to keep in mind. Youth football and cheering, volunteering, fingerprinting. For those that are interested in being a part of that program, and the background checks are taking place tomorrow, May 7th from 6 p.m. At the Grant Avenue Neighborhood Center in Orlando. That's the league for the Eatonville, what's the name? The Eatonville Vikings. So those interested in volunteering and being a part of the coaching staff, they do have to go through the fingerprinting and a background check to be volunteer coaches for that. May 10th is our community pool reopening celebration, the big one. It's been a year since it's been open, so all season pools along with Eastside's Barbecue and others, Star 94.5 will be at this event. It's open to the public from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. As we also heard about the continued conversations with the PEC and the zoning options with that. June 11th is the town's master plan meeting. Of course, I mentioned that one. We are looking at Councilman's Max Cleanup Day and Hurricane Preparedness Day in the town of Eatonville. That will be with our police and Public Works Department, along with other key hurricane preparedness entities such as Duke Energy, Orange County Fire Department. The date we're tentatively set for is June 14th. So we'll be marking that for the community. Potentially that'll be one where we'll have the shredding as well. And then lastly, the Mayor's Small Business Development Training Academy is starting. And so the registration deadline for those small businesses, already established business or looking to establish a business is May 12th. Program starts May 28th and runs through June, the end of June. So just make sure those businesses that want to be a part of that, this is hopefully to establish those businesses within Eatonville from some of the grant funding that we have, so they can be a part of the funding opportunities that will go along with that. Also, just she's reminded me of a few more things. The ARPA funds, we've reached that time frame from when the ARPA funds were released back in 2021, and so we've made several significant purchases, such as the VACON truck and the jetter, which you all approved. The machines have become very valuable to the operations for the internal Public Works and Utilities Department, and so they're doing an amazing job with that. And we've seen some of the videos, and I'll make it available for some of the council to see. But this is increasing our ability with internally to do these projects and not having the larger surcharges that come with using external companies for these projects. So kudos to Ms. Valerie and the public works staff and the training that's taking place with that. So that's taking place from there. I believe I've said enough. I think that's all of my major ones for tonight. I'll take any questions from council. Yeah.
All right, Attorney Shannon.
I just have a brief but important report because of CRAs. As you all know, I'm the general counsel of the FRA, Florida Redevelopment Association. This legislative session, we were under attack. I think that's not too strong. There was a legislation that was out there until the very last day of the session, the intention of which was to do away with CRAs by making it illegal to fund or create any new projects after October 1 of this year. It's important for everybody who's got CRAs. Obviously, for example, one of the cities that I represent, their CRAs, but they have 9 CRAs. And, but it's particularly important for a city, for a town like Eatonville, where the entire city limits are also the CRA. It allows us to get back a larger portion of our tax dollars to spend here. And if they had gone away, we would not get those dollars. And so what you should know is the good news and the way it worked out is that the House was on the let's get rid of CRA altogether side, but the Senate was on the CRAs do good work and they should be left alone side. And because they fought the whole session and never could agree on that or anything else, that's why they didn't pass a budget. The matter has died for this session. It will come back. This was a House Speaker's priority issue, and he feels very strongly about it. I think he's essentially misinformed, but that is the way it is. And thankfully, we have the right allies in the Senate this year. So for now, we're okay. But what it points out is hard, is best as it can be pointed out, better than I can do at any lecture I give or any talk I give at FRA. You have to make sure you are only spending money the way it's legal to spend it. And if you don't, you become the poster child, which there were several cities that were in Tallahassee this year as examples of why they wanted to get rid of them. And one of them was spending money on marketing and special events, which is not what CRA money is supposed to be spent on. And, you know, it's one of those things where there were multiple discussions back and forth about the good of CRAs and hearings that really went well in terms of what we as the FRA were able to present. But for the people who supported doing away with CRAs, their number one target was they're wasting money and not doing redevelopment. And so, though this is the CRA deal with Mr. Jackson, I would urge you all to make sure when you're looking at your budget and the things that you're going to fund, that you are within the guidelines.
Thank you.
Question. On that standpoint, when does state intervene when you're not spending money properly?
The state doesn't intervene, but the county can, and then they can also point you to, or report you to the Joint Legislative Auditing Committee, which we call JLAC for short, to run an audit. You have options when there's money left over, but the options are either return the unspent TIF, tax increment funding, to the county, or better option, move it to another project and spend it there. So if you have a project that was going to be put off for another year or two, and you have extra money that didn't get spent, or the project that you were going to spend it on has gone away, if you reallocate it before the end of that budget year to this other project, then you don't have to give it back. But under the law, if you do not do that, the option is you give it back. And I would strongly suggest anybody who gives back money to the county is making a mistake.
If your CRA plan is ambiguous, how do you rectify that? If it's, you can't, you slum, it should be defined as slum and blight. But if you can make it, maneuver it to pay for an event that we know we shouldn't, how does that work? I mean,
It doesn't. There's no version of event that you can pay for, zero.
Exactly.
But you can spend it on things like exterior improvements for businesses, side grants. You could spend it on better street lighting. You could spend it on improved drainage. Again, all of this assuming that it's in your plan. I don't know what's in your plan. And most recently, I found out that the plan I thought was the plan that was paid for back in 2015 has never been adopted, which makes no sense. But so we're under a 1997 plan. So I don't know what's under that plan. But the bottom line is there's actually 4 big rules of CRA spending. First, it's got to be in the district. Second, it's got to be in the budget. And third, it's got to be in the plan. But the fourth one is it's also got to be in the statute, because the statute now says you can only spend the money these ways, no other way. And so it used to say including but not limited to. It doesn't say that anymore.
Can I get that, can you email me that statute, please?
Yeah, in the memo I sent you, it's quoted in there.
I got you.
All that stuff comes right out.
All right, gotcha, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, I have one announcement.
Yes.
For the public, May stakeholders meeting, which is scheduled for May 25th, will be canceled due to the Memorial Day holiday. And the next one will be June the 23rd.
Which meeting was that? I'm sorry.
The stakeholders.
Stakeholders. Okay. All right, thank you. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna start, tonight, just real simple. Went to the law enforcement ceremony, that honored the memorial ceremony. Second time going, a very nice event, somber, but, worth going if you have never attended. The Mayor's Business Development Training Academy, I can't stress how important that is. For anyone that wants or thinks that they have a skill set that would be needed during all of these projects that will be coming in the town. It is not about us giving you fish. It is about your learning how to fish. And by being trained, getting certified, you would not only be able to bid for town work here, but you'll be able to bid for any municipal grant funding. So this is great preparation for those that are entertaining the idea of being self-employed and being a part of what's going on. May 12th is the deadline to register for that, for the event that starts on May 28th. Also, I've asked that the literature be multilingual. So you'll be working on that as well. Condolences to the Haynes family and any other family that just don't know about. So I now pass it to.
All right. Well, with that being said, I would just like to just thank everybody for coming out there and engaged in town business. And of course, to all the recipients, especially our clerk for being recognized, just being a clerk. She does a fantastic job with, with everything she does, man. Thank God for her. And like ex-mayor Grant said earlier, man, you do everything that we ask of you, but you don't just do it, you go above and beyond, and we appreciate you for that. And I would definitely continue giving you your flowers. So congratulations on the, I guess, clerk week. Yeah, there you go. And as well as the police department, Chief Murray, of course, I speak with you all the time in regards of you keeping this community safe at all times, man. I can sleep good at night knowing that you're in charge. The police department is the best, and I said that the other day during the event on the video, the best in the country. You know what I'm saying? Not tell anybody that. You do a fantastic job with leading those guys, and I appreciate everything that you do for this community as well. And also the educators. You can't go enough without saying about the educators how important they are, and they don't get the recognition that they deserve. I know we have the mayor who's a educator herself, and I just want to continue giving you guys your flowers. I have kids that are AP on the road students, and it's because of people like yourself. So any teachers out there that are educators, man, just stick in there. I know it's tough at sometimes, but I appreciate you guys and continue doing what you're doing. I can promise you to get better. Let me go ahead and start off by saying I can appreciate code enforcement having, and you as well, Mr. President, having the animal control come in here and kind of educate us on how they operate. And that was much needed because I can definitely resonate with what's going on now. A lot of things I didn't know when she spoke up there on some matters that I know now. So I can appreciate her coming in here educating us on that. And also they are having the animal, you can get shots for your animals over at Barnett Park on Friday from 12 to 5, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the time that she stated.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow, from 12 to 5, right?
7 to
7 to
12.
12, okay. I had all my time, I had the days and time wrong. But anybody want to take advantage of that, please do. And I would also like to thank Ms. N.Y. Letheria for coming in here with her presentations. I know her heart's in the right place. I want to definitely make sure that we're partnering with her and moving forward. We're doing all the things that we need to do to better our community, and not just better our community, just have people come in here like it used to be during the Zorro time. I can remember as a kid, man, seal people everywhere. So I hope we get back to that magnitude right there. So I definitely appreciate everything she do on the PDC side. So, it's a great appreciation that she, did for me, especially with doing all the things that she do. I know she can't do it by herself, and I can appreciate the people that she brought here. But I would also like to see other committee members within the town get involved as well. So hopefully we can go down the direction of doing that as well. And also, I know we got Darius Watcher, who does a fantastic job, man, and I can appreciate everything he does also, because even without the amenities that we, don't have right now, that we will have in the future, he's doing a terrific job with just being creative. And I told him that once we hired him, just be creative. I know we don't have everything that you need in terms of recreation facilities and things of that nature with all the different amenities, but he's doing what he can. And I can enjoy, especially with him bringing the football and cheer here. We haven't had that in quite some time. And I know it's gonna be called the Vikings, right? So if anybody out there that's interested in signing the kids up for football or cheer, it's for kids, it's from boys and girls. So, please come and sign up. I think you have until August 31st, if I'm not mistaken, but, take advantage of it. Go on the website, the town of Eatonville, and you can register on there as well. So I'm also excited about the Eatonville Water and Sewer Infrastructure Program that the mayor have brought to the table. I think it's going to be a great and inspirational thing that could, definitely benefit our community and make sure that we're blossoming and prospering every other step. So every step of the way moving forward. So Mayor, I can appreciate your leadership and your vision for identifying that as well. And then I know we got the big one, which is called the first birthday bash. And I would like to definitely thank Four Seasons for doing what they did for us in terms of just, replenishing our pool. They did a fantastic job in remaking that pool. It looks great, and we can have a lot more events that could definitely benefit the kids. And if anybody come out, it's gonna be on this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're gonna have free food and drinks for everybody, so please come out with your families. It doesn't matter, kids, whoever, come out and enjoy it. And then also, this is one of the most important months to me, because I know what freedom means, especially for our ancestors that fought so hard with blood, tears, and sweat, so we could be free. Juneteenth is a very important month, and I know we're gonna be taking place on the Thursday, which will start on the 19th, and then they go through the 21st, I'm sorry, which will end on that Sunday. And there's so many different activities that we got lined up. I know Miss Creighton, she does a fantastic job with her and the committee. And then what I like to also see is the people that she's put on her committee is all Eatonville grown. Everybody that I see on that committee sheet represents the town of Eatonville, because they understand the significance of how important it is to continue thriving. Being the oldest Black municipality in America, it means a lot. So it definitely resonates with me, being, one of the kids that grew up in this community and had an opportunity to go to school and come back and be able to pour into our community, which is important. So I just want everybody to have that vision to come out and just, enjoy the Juneteenth. Also, I just want to give kudos to Mr. and Mrs. Stanley for doing what they do. They do a terrific job with just coming in here, and it's almost like a healthy ride, because what they do is every first Saturday of the month they do what you call a bike ride, and I can appreciate them both and her team for doing what they do. And anybody that's interested in taking that bike ride, please take advantage of it next month. I think it's going to be on June, the first Saturday. We normally meet around about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We get started around about 8:30, probably end about 10. And I'm telling you, after you take that ride, you're refreshed. My legs kind of feel like noodles, but I feel good. And I can appreciate you for being such an advocate in our community and doing what you and your husband do. Thank you so much for that. Make sure I'm not. And also, yes, listen, if you guys haven't taken the opportunity to experience the 1887 first night market, please do. And if you have anybody that out there want to be a vendor, man, each month it grows to a whole nother spectrum. And I'm telling you, I'm not upset about anything that takes place. There's no violence, there's no disruption of any sort. Everybody's friendly, everybody's getting along, and it's a beautiful thing to see in our community. Because I know we don't have everything that we need in this community, but we're gonna push forward with getting everything that we need, you know what I'm saying? So everything that goes out here, will typically take place in the community someday. We're having a tavern, having a gas station, having, grocery stores, things of that nature right there. So that will be something that will, take place, in the near future. I mean, of course, Mr. Mr. Shepherd, you already know the question. And that's gonna be, do we, as a town, have any lawsuits pending against us?
We have no lawsuits, sir.
Okay, great, sounds good. And last but not least, I will, like to give my condolences to my wife, she lost her father, 2 weeks ago. I'll be flying out to California on next Thursday to, have his services and to, two, great friends of mine also. One is named Mitch. He's from Winter Park, but we had an opportunity to grow up together. He graduated a year after I did from Edgewood High School. And that death really, caught me off guard big time. And, my condolences to the Mitchell family, man. Love you. I had an opportunity, to grow up with him and had some great times as kids. And also Nina Kelly, another young lady that I had an opportunity to grow up with also, man. So many great memories that we shared as well. And when you lose people that close to you, man, it really, put you in the mind and really think about a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Death is coming really fast now. So we definitely got to hold on to each other a lot more, harder and, just love on each other, because life is short. It really is. And if all minds and hearts are clear, that's my report. And also, my condolences to the Haynes family. Thank y'all.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Seems like we're moving along. We've had a pretty good meeting tonight. My special sympathy and my love for the Haynes family, Clarence Haynes and his family. Also, Mr. President, thank you very much for taking care of that issue with the dumpster. And I'll be sending you some additional information sometime tomorrow. Also, parking is a big problem on my end, on the west end of Bethune Drive. And with the restaurant patrons coming, somewhere along the line, we got to get that one block of it, no parking on that side. A fire truck would not be able to get between cars parked on both sides of the street. So that's really, really, important for public safety. Chief, if you look into that, please.
Yes,
Yeah. Very important about the information that Ms. Johnson had brought to our attention. I do have a packet here. We'll be meeting with the also, we had a strictly business, it was like a networking group of all the Eatonville businesses on the 28th. I like to say that it was very nice, very well thought out. Mr. Presley came and gave everyone concerns about the road, the widening of the road. And this is not a group to start something different. It's to network with the businesses that we hear to address our concerns as business owners, rather than individuals coming out of town to address issues. We want to be able to meet and discuss things among ourselves so we can address issues that we're having, such as individuals talking about the roads, someone that talked about the dumpers, things of that nature pertaining to Eatonville only. So we're going to be doing more of those. And this is also a collaboration within the chamber, kind of not saying that you have to be a member in order to be a chamber member to be a part. It's nothing like that. Anybody who owns a business in Eatonville can be a part of this network and get together. Hey, how you doing? You exchange information and that's the basic about it. I got one more question to ask. The go-kart, that was passed, wasn't it?
Yes.
Is everyone in compliance who's riding up? Can we do we have a registration of those coming in, registering their go-karts? Because I'm seeing more of them now.
We have promoted it for people to come to the town hall for registration as of yet. I checked this morning, no one has registered, so I'm going to take a different initiative of just going door to door to those who actually own one, and we'll have to get them situated wherever they are. If they're not able to comply, then we'll inform them that if they're seen riding in, then there'll be citations given immediately. Cause we put it out since March 31st, so, I made the attempt to give the town time to absorb it all. So I'll just have to go to those individual homes, directly. That's the only way. They're not coming down here and I gotta go to them.
And last but not least, I'll just say thank you to the staff for doing a great job. Miss Monday, Mr. Baruti, Miss King, everybody, Miss Katrina, all of you all, thank you very much for holding the glue together here. I know sometimes it may not be perfect, you may not hear positive things sometimes, but we all in this together. So we are here to try to make Eatonville the best at what we can make it be, what it deserves to be. All right, thank you very much. You all have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Yes, so good evening. I'll be brief. Condolences out to Councilman Mack and his wife's father. The Haynes family, know them personally. My condolences to those. Nina Kelly, she's my sister-in-law's sister, so definitely hit home with that. It's real close. So condolences to those people and their families. Appreciation to all the municipal clerks and to the teachers that give their hearts, especially the teachers at Hungerford. Those teachers give a lot, and I just want to give my appreciation to them. If we can, Mr. Presley, if we can get with Mr. Baruti, if we can get an ordinance in place. I keep saying about trash being left on that corner, on corners that are not ready to be picked up a week or so. I've been asking, no trash. We're talking about emptying out houses on the corners. If you're gonna do it Monday night or whatever, Monday day. Instead of the whole week, I gotta pass by and look at trash on the corner. Also, what's the ordinance on goals, basketball goals? Yesterday, as a matter of fact, I almost hit a kid. This family has put the goal in the ground and it's over the street. And the kid happened to run from behind the truck, and thank God it wasn't going fast. But if that goal wasn't there, or I don't know if it can be removed or not, but they put this one in the ground. So I'm not sure where we are with the ordinance on that, if they can do that or not, but it's a danger, especially the kids that are running out. That's my report. Everyone have a good night.
All right, that being said, I move for adjournment. So second. Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? We are adjourned 8:59. Night, everyone.